Chapter 19. "Hang on," said Father Christmas, in a voice that told me this wasn't part of the story. I needed to concentrate for this bit. I'd been so wrapped up in Torval and a little kitty, I'd failed to notice the night had somehow turned to day. A few minutes before, we had taken off from the Cape at the very tip of Africa, where the Atlantic meets the Pacific, heading due south. We were now descending through the bright cloud, and I saw that a tiny ice crystal had begun to form on my dressing gown. That could only mean one thing. We were near the South Pole. "There," said Father Christmas, as the final wisps curled from view. "Look, the Antarctic coast." The clouds parted, and I was almost blinded by the most dazzling sunshine. Before us was a colossal field of icebergs, floating like sugar lumps in the dark blue ocean. I looked to where Father Christmas was pointing, and I could just about make out a ribbon of grey pebble beach, crowned by a wall of ice. Seconds later, the cliffs rushed up to meet us, and everywhere I looked, all I could see was snow. We were flying over the Antarctica. A causeway of dark mountain peaks stretched out in front of us, surrounded on either side by an ocean of glimmering white. "See," said Father Christmas, "this transatlantic mountains, they lead all the way to the South Pole." "I don't understand," I shouted back. "Why is the sun shining?" "Ah," said Father Christmas, clearly pleased that I had asked. "Because it's summer." "I understand," I said, although I didn't. "When it's winter at the North Pole, it's summer here," said Father Christmas. The sun shines for the whole of Christmas. "But there can't be any children at the South Pole," I said. "Usually there aren't," said Father Christmas, "but this year's different. See down there?" I nodded. "There is a research station. It's full of scientists. And one of them, well, you'll see in a minute." "Look out! Yeah!" he bellowed, and gave the reins an authoritative shake. "Will you please stop doing that?" called Rudolph from way up in front. I found it mildly condescending. "Sorry," called out Father Christmas. "Come on, team," shouted Rudolph, and the reindeer began to take the full weight of the sleigh, pulling us up into a steep climb. Doing my best not to look scared, I fumbled around on the seat to see if there might be anything resembling a safety harness. There wasn't. We were now slowing to a halt, as if at the very top of a giant roller coaster, and sure enough, Father Christmas put his hands in the air. "Woo-hoo!" he called. "Woo-hoo!" I shouted, and stuck my hands in the air too. The rest is a bit of a blur. One minute I was staring at the sky, and the next at the ground, while Rudolph and the other reindeers galloped at a full tilt. The wind was so fierce it was almost impossible to open my eyes, although once I did, I immediately wish I hadn't. We were coming up much too fast on a large rectangular grey building, surrounded by a brightly coloured jumble of huts and tents. It wasn't going to be much of a Christmas present, I thought to myself, if we ended up flattening the whole camp. "Is this safe?" I called out to Father Christmas. "Goodness me, no," he shouted. "It's absolutely idiocy, but that's what makes it fun." Suddenly there was a jolt, and Father Christmas and I were flung into the footwell. "Ah!" said Father Christmas, cried, and I sensed this wasn't exactly soothing his swollen ankle. We had landed. The sleigh was still in one piece, but we were careering across the ice so fast that it felt like we might never stop. "Pull on the reins," I called to Father Christmas. "You pull on the reins," he called out, stuffing them into my hands. "Stop!" I shouted to the reindeer, and I stood up and pulled as hard as I could. Gradually the pack slowed down from a gallop to an ever so slightly slower gallop, then to a canter, and finally drew to a halt, just a metre or so from a black and white pole with a shiny sapphire on top. "Blimey," said Rudolph, "we nearly broke the South Pole."